Hey, most people most people want to wait until there's an audience built up, like at least 5, 10, even more people. Me, I see one person waiting and I'm like, I got one viewer. Whoever you are, one viewer. You're a special someone. Or you're just a stalker. My only stalker. But this is quite interesting. What's up, Rock? This is a quite interesting find. I've two people watching, one person thumbed up, one person thumbed down. I wonder if there is a troll lurking out there. I wonder if there is a troll lurking out there. What's going on, Rock? If you want to join on, just let me know. I'll hand you the link. I found this very fascinating news. The Cerutti Mastodon Site. It's quite interesting. Let's check this out. Have you ever heard of it? The Cerutti Mastodon Site. Yeah, check this out. So this is a CBS This Morning. This is 7 months ago. This is 7 months ago. Uncovered bones suggest humans were in America 130,000 years ago. And I noticed this because this is in right very close to where I am.
In Southern California could rewrite the history.
And globe.
A major archaeological dig in Southern California could rewrite the history books. Until recently, researchers believed humans reached North America 15,000 years ago. A new findings published in the journal Nature suggest there was human activity 130,000 years ago. Scientists believe these primitive beings came between Neanderthals and archaic Homo sapiens. Maria Villarreal is at the San Diego Natural History Museum. Maria, good morning.
And dinosaur.
Well, good morning. It took more than 20 years to put together this very complicated puzzle, but in the end, their findings, including this very large tusk right here, could rewrite and reshape how we feel about human evolution.
Oh my! Say that again?
How we feel about human evolution.
Oh wow!
Highways are an everyday part of life in Southern California, but it turns out humans may have traveled.
So it's all right for you guys to just change the story whenever you feel like it, but if anyone else wants to change the story, it's bad. You guys changing the story 115,000 years, that's okay. But a group of other people changing the human story, that's bad. Because you're not changing the story. You guys want to change the story. Can't let other people change the story.
Here long before anyone could have imagined. Highways are an everyday part of life in Southern California, but it turns out humans may have traveled here long before anyone could have imagined.
As a paleontologist, so it's really amazing to have discovered a site of such importance in our own backyard.
This archaeological shocker began in 1992 when scientists from the San Diego Natural History Museum uncovered the bones of a mastodon 10 feet under a highway construction site.
In a way, this is like a paleo crime scene.
Paleontologist Tom Demaray was one of the first to arrive and almost instantly knew they'd uncovered something special.
Bullshit. I smell bullshit. I mean, I smell a lot of bullshit.
We knew they'd uncovered something special.
The important fractures are these fractures here. See how smooth and curved that is? This is the kind of fracture that's produced from impact.
The team believed the heavy femur bones could only be broken by a human using a two-handed tool, possibly to extract marrow for food. By replicating the breaking patterns and using state-of-the-art dating methods, the group concluded humans first reached the Americas over 130,000 years ago, not 15,000 years ago, as previous research had suggested.
There's room for skepticism, for sure.
But USC Associate Professor Dr. Christian Carlson wants more evidence.
One instance is fascinating, but I think we need to find another site or two before we begin to accept this.
I was a strong critic when I first looked at this, and I said, well, I can't believe this is really here, but this is science.
Archaeologist Stephen Holland has spent most of his...
This, and I said, well, I can't believe this is really here, but this is science. Here, but this is science. Here, but this is science. But this is science. But this is science. But this is science. This is really here, but this is science. This is really here, but this is science.
Archaeologist Stephen Holland has spent most of his career researching prehistoric human existence and is ready to face critics who aren't yet ready to rewrite history.
We're expecting pushback. We expect people to be critical. We want people to be critical.
What makes you so sure that something else didn't break it over time?
People have been doing these experiments for years and say that only humans with hammerstones can produce these kinds of features.
Well, there are still a lot of unanswered questions. The president of the museum joked yesterday that this is just proof that even early humans wanted to live here in San Diego. Gail?
Perfect.
Well, why not? The weather was good.
Weather's very nice area here. Thank you, Renee.
You see what I mean? So we got 5 people watching. What's going on? What's going on, Tim Truth? Yo, yeah, I got 5 dislikes already. That's a good thing. Here, I'll dislike my own video. I dislike my own video. So check this out. So this is the sciencefaction.com. This is a pretty recent article written by Robert Timothy, who is the scientist / comedian, a Berkeley graduate that I debated on stage in the first ever San Diego Flat Earth versus Globe Earth debate. And I'm still in contact with him, and actually tomorrow we're going to be getting together again, and we're going to go to some museums or something like that, or grab some lunch, and we'll talk about the fucking Mastodon here. So I'm going to read a little bit up, so I have some stuff to talk about with him, even though I don't need to. But so he wrote this: Mastodon, don't believe the hype. So even he knows it's fishy. You must have got a lot smarter after debating me. So you've heard about that 130-year-old 130,000-year-old Mastodon butchery site in San Diego, the one that has clear evidence of an unknown hominid in the New World 100,000 years earlier than even the earliest estimates of occupation, and how the site has been thoroughly studied and vetted by Jesus, I'm fucking stuttering like a crazy bastard. Experts, and found to be valid. Well then, I have a pitch. It should be. I have a pitch for Herbalife that you're going to love. Herbalife. Oh, that's a Californian joke. While it's not fair to characterize anyone who takes the claims of early hominids in the New World as naive, it does demonstrate a prevalent problem in science communication. This is an arena in which sensical claims garner front-page attention without necessarily going through a detailed scientific process. An arena in which extremely technical experts are the only people who can refute extremely technical claims, and their refutations rarely make the same waves as the initial scientific findings. I see. An arena in which clickbait travels faster than the actual science needed to refute it. This arena is internet pop science. And while the Cerutti Mastodon Site has all the trappings of real science and certainly some real paleontology worked in there, it is the perfect example of the internet pop science phenomenon and the damage it can do to the public understanding of science. For those of you not familiar with the Mastodon article that blew up the science news outlets last week, I'll give you a quick recap. In the early 1990s, during a freeway construction project in southern San Diego County, a paleontologist from the Natural History Museum named Richard Cerutti found some mastodon bones. Upon closer inspection, he noticed some odd things in regard to this particular mastodon skeleton. One of the tusks was standing upright, as if it had been buried vertically into the ground. Certain parts, like the ball joints of the femoral heads, had been separated and seemingly placed together, and many of the bones appeared to be broken open when the bones were fresh, as if by scavengers trying to get the mastodon marrow. In addition to the skeleton itself, Cerutti found some stone cobbles with impact marks reminiscent of being used like a hammer and anvil to bash open the bones. Cerutti dug the site and brought in experts from around the country to help him analyze it. After advances in radiometric dating techniques, he was able to get a 130-year-old date on the bones. Get the fuck out of here. Stephen Hullen, a PhD archaeologist in the Center for American Paleolithic Research, came in to look at the potential stone tools and certify them as definitely being reminiscent of ancient hammer and anvil technology. In putting this all together, Cerutti surmised that the only possible conclusion was that some hominids smashed open these mastodon bones 130,000 years ago with the cobble tools at the site. This, of course, would completely upend the human paleontology and archaeology as our own species. Homo sapien was completely contained to Africa at that time, and no other hominid species had been found in the New World. So they're basically trying to switch the Africa out of Africa theory to the out of America theory. I see what they're doing. So in essence, this one paleontology archaeology site completely changed the history of hominids, New World occupation, and paleontology of San Diego. Pretty impressive stuff, which is probably why it was published in the gold standard of scientific publication, the journal Nature. That's true. It's a great story and one which is likely viewed with awe and wonder from anyone outside the fields of archaeology and paleontology. Indeed! It seems to be one of those huge discoveries that changed the way we think about the planet and its history. And it is most likely complete bullshit. Cerutti's site has been a poorly kept secret in archaeological. Dude, I can't fucking say that word. Archaeological. I'm fucking retarded. Fucking ridiculous. Cerutti's site has been a poorly kept secret in I can't fucking say it. It's just a fucking beyond tongue twister. Fields in San Diego for the past few decades. Yes, I've only heard about it recently. Something that gets whispered about by young field researchers chasing the thrill of science that they thought they would occupy, or a company sharing a career title with Indiana Jones. I was exactly such a young archaeologist in 2009. When working with Richard Cerutti on a different site, he told me of this treasured mastodon find. This was before the dating had come in at the time. He thought the site was even older, giving me a proposed date prior to 500,000 years old. Huh. I was immediately hooked. Evidence of hominid occupation in the New World prior to Homo sapiens. And, and right in my own backyard, I felt the rush of being in on a secret that would change the world, and I gobbled every piece of information I could about the site from Richard himself until eventually he broke down and brought me his preliminary report to read. After tearing through the document, I was crestfallen. Richard, I stated, unable to contain my disappointment. Where are the lithics, you see? In sites of animal butchery, hominids utilize sharp, flaked stone tools, or lithics, to cut away soft tissue before busting open the bones for marrow. Excuse me. These flaked lithics are telltale signs of human activity. That's true. And the marks that they leave on the bones, unless they were just on the run, telltale signs of human activity. The marks they leave on the bones are telltale. This is not the cuts themselves were present. They weren't present. Meaning to me and every halfway skeptical archaeologist, all Cerutti had was some bashed up bones and possibly associated cobbles. While it didn't rule out this Mastodon site as being altered by hominids, it certainly wasn't the only possibility. He had no good answer. Maybe they were quarreling bone shards for tools. But all of those bone shards are large enough to make tools appear to still be present at the site, according to Cerutti's own reports. Maybe they scavenged an existing carcass that was long devoid of meat. But then how fresh would the bone have been broken? Had to be broken when fresh. I don't know, I still don't believe it. Yeah, obviously I don't believe it. Also, among the damaged bones was at least one tooth that was also smashed open. There was no marrow within teeth and no reason to smash them open, but a random event, like a trampling by other mastodons or hydraulic activity from the river adjacent to the site would indiscriminately smash teeth along. Oh, okay. And these stone tools, while certainly suggestive of intentional bashing, are nebulous without other evidence of hominid activity. The site's location alongside a river could have contributed to the cobbles. That's true. Smashing into each other and causing damage. The lead archaeologist brought in to assist Cerutti, Stephen Hall, will address many of these issues that were eminently raised by actions. He must have that the kill sites in North America. Without those, in fact, in the rebuttals to these sites, he mentions two sites, 30,000 or 33,000. Unaware of any accepted mastodon-related archaeology site. Like, how do you know it's not an elephant? Like, what do you, like, can't, like, why are you calling it a mastodon? How do you know that it's not an elephant that you've dug up? It's like, why are you calling it a mastodon and you're relating it to dinosaurs? It's because that's what you do. You found, it's just so obvious. If I'm unaware. Wait, I am unaware of any accepted mastodon-related archaeology site with or without lithics at 33. It's got to be 33,000 years ago in the New World. In fact, I'm unaware of any accepted archaeology site in the world anywhere near 33,000 years ago. I did some quick research and I found that the site referenced is a proposed archaeological site in Nebraska that is not accepted by mainstream archaeology, despite a lack of lithics at the site. Now there are possible issues regarding definite improvements. You know that crucial piece of evidence we don't have at the site. Expected. Oh, okay. Further looking in the Dr. Holmes group, the Center for American Paleolithic Research, you'll find around evidence of hominin. That is exactly the promise room. He brought in someone off the stage. Yes, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Yes, very thin evidence. Yeah, fucking modern elephants. How do you know that they're not fucking elephants? Yeah, the possibility of other mastodons revisiting and manipulating the sites of other relatives' bones, as we know modern elephants do. So why do you say that it's a mastodon? Why? Oh, because you need dinosaurs to exist to back up your heliocentric model. And it's not even considering. So by now you may be wondering, how in the world did this article, with all its inherent issues, make it through peer review in the most prestigious scientific journal on the planet? That's true. The answer is simple. It didn't. Nature didn't publish any peer-reviewed article regarding the Cerutti Mastodons. It simply published a letter from the investigators describing their finds. This letter is more of an announcement of something interesting researchers have found, and is no way a vetted, peer-reviewed, scientifically reliable description of the find. There's nothing wrong or underhanded about this. It's a common practice that keeps the scientific community informed about relevant discoveries while proper academic papers are being crafted. But it does give the impression to the public that this is somehow settled or accepted science. It's not. It hasn't even reached the threshold of consideration that is peer review. Oh, jeez. Maybe Cerutti will turn out to be right. Maybe hominids occupied San Diego 130,000 years ago. And if that turns out to be true, I'd really be excited. Gentlemen, silver evidential basis for that claim. Right now, it's just a letter making some extraordinary claims in regard to their responsibility. Yep. All right, cool. Oops. Oops. All right, is this fucking still live? What's up, Katie? Are you here? Is this fucking Katie? Are you here? Let me know if you're here.
They all know it makes a blowjob even better. Fight chemicals make it legal for any person. So if you need it for medicine, or they just want to get high, and it gets good for meditation and religious purposes, it's because they all know it makes a blowjob even better. And I think all the military clear again with the reason. Medical marijuana is a test case. Taking medicine away from dying people in pain, these are worse than anything they've done internationally. It's happening right here to American citizens. I think it's going to bounce back and hit them in the face. Maybe because I hope it will. I just as stupid as the American people seem to be a lot of times. I don't believe they're stupid enough to believe in taking medicine away from Chinese people. And most of the members of WAM are dying. Most of them are terminal cases. And they're in pain most of the time, and the marijuana takes the pain away, or at least eases it. In most cases, it takes it away for hours, you know. And the idea that these people with AIDS and cancer should die in pain because God doesn't want them to have any relief from the pain. I don't see how long they can hold on. It's right out of the Middle Ages, you know. It's worse than pain. It's the Dark Age. I don't think they can hold on to that position very long, but they sure as hell are trying. I get my pot absolutely free from the Women's Alliance for Medical Marijuana Research. I'm sure I was proper. We do what we can to keep it going. Now that they've been raided, we're going to have to do more. We're going to have to decentralize it further. We decentralize the production and making of tinctures, cookies, brownies, whatever form you want to take it, whatever is best for that condition. People still smoke it. And we're going to have to decentralize the growth as well as production and distribution. So 85% of the people in Santa Cruz County are against DEA. They got to arrest the whole country. They got to build a fence around the whole damn county and say we're all in jail now. I don't know, they might do that. I thought somebody was kidding, but it sounds just like blood pressure. You build a bomb, they fill up the whole world. Cut a hole in the middle of the shape of the United States that will survive after we blow everything else up. Sounds like a great idea to me. There'll be no more enemies to fear, no more wars to fight. We can spend our money in the country. We may even get a health plan like the civilized world has. Everybody has health care. If we didn't spend all this money fighting with the rest of the world, we could have a health plan like England or Ireland or France or Germany or any Canada or Israel or any civilized country. We can't afford it because we're so busy fighting the whole fucking planet at once. They're not even finished in Afghanistan. I doubt they ever will be. They're getting ready to start a war with Iraq now. And Saudi Arabia or Iran is next time. I'm not quite sure which is going to be the favorite. It's going to be Saudi Arabia or Iran. And then all of the Muslims in the world, which are between 1 billion and 2 billion, depending on which estimate I believe. Somebody, let's say 1.5 billion. They're all under 80, and they do more than they do now. We have a planet of 6 billion people who 1.5 billion hate the United States. No, it's so fucking crazy. I can't believe. Who's running this show? The Stooges?
Who's running this shit? It's so fucking crazy. Who's running this show? The Three Stooges? No, it's Bush and his family members. Let's see here. So this article just came out today, December 19th, 2017. This is Newswire today. This is you got Tom Cruise is pitching for Scientology. Madonna sings the praises of Kabbalah. Strange religious groups or cults are in vogue in today's Hollywood. But when it comes to bizarre rituals and crackpot beliefs, even Scientology can't hold a candle to the Church of the SubGenius. A new religious movement is set to take Hollywood by storm. Oh, it's not new. There's a lot of people in Hollywood are already subgeniuses, you stupid online article. The Church of the SubGenius is a popular organization often seen as a parody of religious cults, including Scientology, the Relations, the Unification Church, and racist hate groups such as the Christian Identity. It's true, actually. I am aware of this, and I really do not like that part of the SubGenius. The organization is widely seen as a satire that mocks organized religion, or as the church describes itself, cynisacrilegion. It was founded in 1953 by a mysterious figure named J.R. Bob Dobbs, whose smiling, pipe-smoking image has been seen worldwide in chip art, graffiti, tattoos, and rock albums from performers ranging from Debo and George Clinton to Sublime. Dude, when I found out when I realized that Sublime, my favorite band growing up, they were SubGeniuses, my mind was fucking shattered. A number of celebrities are SubGenius ministers, including former Talking Heads singer David Bryan, Penn Jillette, Robert Anton Wilson, Pee Wee Herman. A number of comic book artists and praise the group's teaching, including legendary underground artists Robert Crumb and Paul Mavrides. Also, Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons, is a SubGenius. Not officially, but he supports the SubGenius. Let's see here. Nice. Woody Harrelson. The church is also heavily featured in weekly KPFA Berkeley radio program, Less Than an Hour, More Than a Show, which features SubGenius performers Hal Robbins and Philo Drummond. In May of 2006, the group made an offer to UK pop rock star Robbie Williams to join its ranks. In response, Williams' announcement that he intended to start his own bizarre UFO cult. The church has issued a prediction that that invading aliens from outer space will arrive on Earth on July 5th, 2007, or X Day. Well, they're actually wrong about that. It was 1998. But now, it's actually 2018. And only the ordained members of the Church of the SubGenius will survive the oncoming cataclysm. However, the church promises all members that they will get their money's worth. The church has a standing offer: eternal salvation or triple your money back. It's true. I've already tripled my money back, and much more. It's true. I'm not lying, and I actually can prove it. I have evidence. The Church of the SubGenius has been no stranger to controversy since its foundation, and the upcoming X Day celebration promises to be no different. In the late 1980s, members of the church were accused of spreading a virus in Macintosh computers known as the Peace virus. Numerous articles have been written on the church in such noteworthy publications such as the New York Times, the Washington Post, Wired Online, Boston Globe, U.S. News, and the World Report. And broadcast reports have been produced by CNN and NPR. In April 1999, officials of the city of Cambridge, Massachusetts, shut down an official SubGenius Devival gathering in the belief that the church was affiliated with the Trenchcoat Mafia, the organization blamed for the Columbine high school shootings. Though authorities were later realized the association was mistaken. In its January 1st, 2000 issue, Time magazine poll declared J.R. Bob Dobbs the biggest fraud in the 20th century. It's true, folks. The church received additional media attention in 2006 when one of its high-ranking members, known in SubGenius circle as Reverend Mary Magdalene, became involved in a legal battle for custody of her son due to her membership in the church. She tried to get the legal custody for the battle of her son because she was a member of the Church of the SubGenius. Oh man, this case has been covered in such popular online sites as in Boing Boing, Fark, and Wiki News, Wikipedia's news reporting service. Reverend Magdalene is being represented by the law firm of Lipstitz Green Farbringers Roll Salisbury and Cambria, LLP. In an interview with CNN, church business manager Reverend Ivan Snang said, "We're probably the only cult that admits we're ripping them off every day and teaching them to enjoy it." Admit it! Why? It's written by the first online church of Bob. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh, it's fucking beautiful. Let's see what I find in this rabbit hole. See? See how fun rabbit holes are? What the fuck is this? Cast iron chaos. Chaos magic. Magic is the mysterious presence that makes us creative, independent, and sentient. Some call it the soul, the key, the chi, the spirit, or just the essence of life. Magic is creativity. Well, this is quite interesting. Some say that the opposite of chaos is law. Quite interesting. Wait a minute. Based upon the... Nice. Yeah, that's true, Katie. Yeah, Devo is a SubGenius band. They're Devo support SubGenius, and they still do to this very day. Isn't that interesting, Katie? The bands that you grew up loving are SubGenius, and you didn't even know it. Found you. I found you. What? You have 3 friends? What the fuck? Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
What's how it is that in 1972 when
Richard Nixon began the drug war. The budget was $100 million. And I think in the year 2000, the figure had rose to, I believe, $20 billion.
Yeah.
And yet there's more drugs, well, there's more availability, more.
Oh yeah, there's more of everything. The more they fight it, the more drugs appear. It's like Lao Tzu said, the more laws they pass, the more criminals they create. The more weapons they create, the more terror stalks the land. The more clever explainers appear, the more frogs fall out of the sky. Yeah, when they made marijuana illegal in 1937, according to sociologists who studied the growth of it, they were around 100,000 to 500,000 pot smokers in the United States, users. That's most of them in Texas and New Orleans. Now the estimates run between 20 million and 70 million. After all this money has been spent away from it out. And it's the same with heroin. There are more heroin users in the country now than there were when I was legalized. Doesn't matter what's a good drug or a bad drug, make it illegal and people get attracted. And of course the damage increases because I forget who said, no drug is known to science that becomes purer, cleaner, safer, or easier, or better to use and turned over to the criminal classes. The United States has taken a whole variety of drugs and turned it over to the criminal classes. Plus, they have bad results. You don't expect criminals to be as careful as doctors, do you? And doctors don't have all that good a reputation. So somebody on an email a month or so ago sent a thing claiming that more people die in hospitals from wrong prescriptions than die of all the illegal drugs on the government's doing. The doctors aren't in trouble. Are we going to trust criminals? We're not supposed to trust them, but we got either side of the medical. People who get on pot, they get stoned, they get high and relax. They got to go to the criminal classes? Why? Well, actually, it was very down to it. I trust the mafia a little bit more than I trust the United States. So, what I'm really afraid of is when they decide to legalize it for the pill. Square blood. I suppose Eli Lilly push him and fire and I will. But not with a pill. They throw it does to the pain because he did you high. And then they'll charge about $50 a pill. So for real relief from pain would be out of reach of most of the population that still go on suffering or buying from black market pills. Meanwhile, better to close down with medical marijuana cooperative. Hey, we got a legal form here, and it doesn't produce that terrible euphoria or bad shit. They all complain about euphoria as one of the bad side effects of cannabis. Apparently, you're not in your right mind in this country unless you feel vaguely miserable, apprehensive, and depressed. Or you start feeling euphoric, there must be something wrong with what the hell's wrong. I think euphoria is part of the treatment. There's a hell of a lot of evidence and a hell of a lot of books studying Wilhelm Reich, Prescott, the Mayo, tons of evidence that feeling good is good for your health. So their attempt to take the joy out of marijuana just means they will take longer to heal whatever you're using it for. Using it for medical purposes.
So yeah, leading to, do you think that high consciousness through careful drug use is valid? And how can we be more socially synergetic and responsible with drugs in regards to attaining high consciousness?
Well, I think the scientific evidence from the early 60s before the government banned all scientific research and revived the position. The evidence such as it was, there was quite a lot of scientific studies published that clearly indicates that psychedelics are good for almost everything. It was used for almost every disease with some kind of positive result in one study or another. And certainly produces religious experiences with only minimum suggestion to get them moving in that direction. Like in Good Friday study that was done at Harvard. They put them in a church and gave half of them a acid and half of them a placebo. And the ones on acid, they almost all had religious experiences. The ones on placebo just said what happened. And I look at Larry's conduct rehabilitation thing. He reversed his Hinduism, right? Most of his conducts, the last period of it, was still not committing new crimes. The average new convict is back in prison within 1 year. Larry's convicts, almost about 80% of them seem to have stayed out of prison, which means either the acid made them more compassionate, they stopped committing violent crimes, or made them more clever and not getting caught. I don't know which way keeps them out of prison. I think it made them more compassionate. You say they weren't all into violent crimes, a lot of them were into non-violent crimes like drug use, embezzlement, and things like that, which aren't really, embezzlement is not nice. I wouldn't really like to steal money out of my bank account. It's still not a violent
crime. What's your best description of compassion?
Well, actually, it means to feel with calmness, with in Latin, passion is emotion. In German, it's Mitleid, to feel somebody else's pain, feel their pain with them. It seems to be a natural human phenomenon unless it gets destroyed by unfortunate early experiences. But I noticed all of my children when they were babies, I used to take turns feeding them. There'd come a point where they might take a spoon away from me and try to feed me. I realized they were trying to show that their gratitude for being fed by feeding me. Babies do this all the time. Well, my wife told me they all did it to her too, and a lot of women about this. They all do it. The natural tendency of the same species to be kind to one another. But of course, you got a child that gets beaten up and brutalized and sodomized and goes to all sorts of hell. They're going to lose it. They're going to grow up as cold. They're going to grow up as sociopaths without any positive reaction to human beings at all. It says, how can I get this money? How can I torture them for the longest time and get the most fun out of it? Bright ideas like that. We're not born that way, though. It takes a really brutal upbringing. Serial killers, for instance, almost without exception, had incredibly brutal childhoods. Incredibly cruel parents, or foster parents. So that's how they get to feel that way about human beings. Human beings are no good enough to be trusted. And they're a bunch of bastards, and let's get even with them. That's what serial killers think. It's the extent that they think it all. Mostly they have one standard victim they go after over and over. One physical type, Ted Bundy went after college girls or women of that age. Jeffrey Dahmer went after black adolescents. Ed Gein went after white adolescent males. They all have a standard type. They commit the same crime over and over again. Yeah, it's like, how do I get off on the serial killer? Hannibal Lecter is the exception. No one can predict who will be his next victim because he's whimsical about it. He's fictitious, though. I hope.
So why would Hannibal Lecter make a better president than George Bush?
Well, everybody agrees we need a serial killer in the White House. I mean, the patriotic line is we're surrounded by enemies. Every continent except Antarctica is full of people armed to the teeth who hate us because they hate our freedom. I don't know what freedom we got that they could possibly hate. We don't have any freedom left in this fucking country. But they believe we got freedom and people hate us. So we need a serial killer in there to keep killing all these people who don't have any freedom and hate us for our freedom. On the other hand, the left-wing attitude is that these are all laws for oil or other natural resources. The government lies all the time, and what they're trying to do is rip off the rest of the planet. So we still need a serial killer, right? So either from the left-wing or the right-wing perspective, we need somebody with the personality of a serial killer. So what type of serial killer do we want? I say Hannibal Lecter has a lot more culture, a lot more wit, a lot. George Bozo, as I call him, George Bush, Bozo, his royal fraudulency, George II. He's about as much wit as a box of kitty litter.
Hannibal Lecter is witty, educated, erudite, multilingual. He makes a good impression on foreign readers. And if he eats a couple of sentences occasionally, well, hell, we can lose a couple of those geological specimens in the Senate and no less that were a great gain to the country. And so he ate the forebrain of a congressman. So what do you get forebrain for in Congress anyway? They all act from the back brain anyway. They don't need frontal lobes.
Wasn't that something you said? Have you got a cup or something that says, forget all this self-improvement, I just want a good honest meal?
No, that's in the third volume. He said, damn well with self-improvement. I want a pleasant dinner. That's a great saying. A lesbian patient that doesn't meet some equity. In that house and escaped and has been at large for 10 years. They accidentally meet again. And she says, you know what I remember best? If I was a lesbian and you said there's nothing wrong with being weird, dear. You have no idea how weird I am. You never understood that until your trial. He must have been a great psychiatrist. I mean, just singing a fictitious character as if he was real. No pain could bring in anything that he couldn't understand and appreciate.
What is your favourite sound?
The end of Beethoven's night. Male and female voices singing together about joy and brotherhood and peace.
Do you think that the American government produces disinformation to make conspiracy theories seem absurd?
I think they're smart enough to do much of that. Maybe the CIA has one guy in one office who's in charge of confusing conspiracy theories by putting out false conspiracies. But I don't see enough of the conspiracy buff world. I don't need that. They make up their own crazy theories to disgrace the research movement anyway.
Why are all the convicted felons bar Oliver North back in the administration from the Iran and Contra?
Well, you know, like I said, we need that type. Since we got enemies on every continent. Either because they hate our freedom, as Bush says, or because they hate us for big loss of their land and their people and natural resources and murdering them on cost. 193 million people will be killed in the wars since the end of World War II. That's the estimate of the World Game Center in Philadelphia. 193 million. Oh, except I look like a piker. And most of these were Bush wars, small wars. Most of them were the Western world against the Southern and Asiatic world, the very world, trying to get out of control of the major banks in Hamburg, London, New York, Boston, etc. What I call the real DEA, the Dutch English-American alliance between the royal family and the bankers. They're really going on these like anything you find. Well, George Bush, for instance, is related to the Queen of England, is related to Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, related to most of the major bankers. It's all one big happy family up there at the top.
So, can you give a description of the law cap? Or what law cap is?
Oh, that's a term coined by Buckminster Fuller called lawyer-run capitalism. He thinks that the attempts to control capitalism by passing laws has turned control of the corporations over to their lawyers, whose job is to tell them how they can rob as much as they want without breaking the law technically. But if they do break the law, what kind of defense to mount against any prosecutions? We think lawyers are really running the system. And considering the low opinion everybody has of lawyers, that's more terrifying than any other conspiracy theory like the Jewish conspiracy. I'm not afraid of the Jews. All the Jews I know are very nice people. The Jesuit conspiracy, that's a little frightening, but a lot of good Jesuits still. The Freemasonic conspiracy, every Freemason I know I like. But the idea of a lawyer conspiracy, really, those bastards are capable of anything. In law school, you gotta learn how to argue both sides of any case, right? That's very good education if you're going to be a philosopher. It's not a good education for anybody who's going to have any power over other people. Because whatever they want to prove, they can prove it to themselves anyway. They can make a pretty good argument to others, in most cases. That's what legal training is all about. No, my defendant did not set fire to the building. He was merely smoking and behaving. That wasn't a very good example, sorry.
Have you wrestled with an octopus lately? And how do you remember Princess Di?
What octopus?
So like the octopus.
Oh, Danny Castellero's octopus. I'm more worried about the SOG. It's the czarist occupation government. Now that we got an official czar, he's in charge of American medicine, but there's enough disputes going on in the other science that eventually the czar is going to be deciding all scientific questions the way he decides medical questions, according to public opinion poll. And I think that's the waste they're confronting us. I don't know how the hell we ended up with a czar. This country was supposed to free us from a king. Now we got a czar in place of a king. That's progress. That's nothing. I'd rather have an English king or a queen back than have a goddamn czar or studying scientific questions. And Princess Di, when she died, there's all sentimentality about her. I said, oh my God, she had a good besides marry a rich man, taking her a lot of money in the divorce. You know, so she was leading the struggle against landmines. Like, okay, she did something. But so, I'm not against the Princess Di anymore. So she got a lot of money for her trying. She did a lot of good too. And she was a cute looking woman, I must say. Besides, I liked her for dating an Arab. That shows cosmopolitan spirit. That's why she got married, according to one conspiracy theory, you know. The British royal family didn't want her to marry an Arab because then the future king of England would have an Arab.
Well, that's
we might be related to Osama bin Laden or all we know.
I've never heard that conspiracy theory. It's pretty interesting.
Did Ezra Pound speak the word? Or was she equated to the Tower of Babel?
Well, Pound believed, no, that's an exaggeration. Pound believed everybody should like Chinese. Or anybody wants to be a writer. And no politician should get elected with the vast contamination of Chinese. That makes even more sense today than it did when Pound wrote it, because with China is one of the major powers in the world. Everybody wants to trade with China. Nobody wants to war with China. Everybody wants to trade with them. About 2 billion customers or something like that. That's why Nixon decided to end the Cold War with China. All those customers in American business couldn't reach him. They lifted the ban. And where were we on that? Babel. Babel, yeah. Like a Babel. Well, yeah, I mean, for the sake of commerce, business, and the general world, movement, I think everybody should know some Chinese. In addition to that, I thought alphabetical languages teach us to think in a certain way, what you might call linear or Aristotelian or something. And ideogrammic languages like Chinese teach us to think in terms of relations and concrete specifics. And don't connect them always by causality, a lot of them are just connected by synchronicity. And to the extent that I know any Chinese at all, it's due to Pound's influence, and I'm very grateful to him for it. I think we should all learn Chinese. I wish. One of the things I feel most regretful about is that at the age of 70, I still only know about 100 ideograms. I should know a few thousand by now. But I don't know, I got distracted by other things.
So how do you see think when India and Africa and China become more integrated into the online community? How do you see that affecting the...
To me, that is the most desirable goal.
right now. To get Asia and Africa online seems to me the way we're going to have globalization without corporate control. I think we need globalization. I don't like to use that word as a negative because global cooperation is no sensible way to use the resources of the planet. But it's got to be cooperation, not one bunch of Dutch, English, American bankers and royals running the whole goddamn world. It's got to be a grassroots globalization. And the more people get online, the better, and the more Africans. I put a guy on an airplane who goes to Portugal, and he was running a computer company in some African country so small I never heard of it. I forgot his name since I talked to him. He might get his whole country online in 10 years. So I was delighted to know there are people in Africa thinking that way. And the more it happens in Africa and Asia, the more we're going to get a world. We're going to get a kind of world union that's not based on force but on communication. And that to me is the real hope. But it's about the last hope we've got. Until we're all accessible to one another, at least temporarily, communicate with one another. We're going to be mismanaged, lied to, abused, and generally exploited by our own governments or other governments. We throw out our government, say we've come to liberate you, and you're still a dictator. The guy that the United States installed in Afghanistan with so much fanfare and hurrahs and hallelujahs last year. There were 2 attempts to assassinate him last week. Obviously, the Afghanis are not all delighted to be liberated. After we liberate Iraq, there I go again. After they, I don't like to say we when I refer to the government. It's not my government, it's their government. After they get rid of Saddam Hussein, how many times are they going to have to go back to Iraq? Because they're reinstall a new dictator after the last dictator gets bumped up. England first entered Afghanistan in 1849. And they had to go back again and again for regime change because everything still kept getting thrown out by the Chinese tribes and they were pissed off at them. Dr. Watson in the Sherlock Holmes stories got his role in Afghanistan. By 1919, after 70 years, the British finally smartened up enough to say, oh, fuck Afghanistan, you can't control it with religious maniacs who live in mountains. They got out. Then the Russians hit in the 80s, they fought for 10 years. They got out showing that 7 times smarter than the English in 10 years, learning their lesson. Assuming that we had an unbroken succession of Bush rates, I imagine the United States would be there for 170 years, going back to a more regime change every 5 years.
When was the last time you remember seeing Lawrence on the radio?
Oh, God, it was only about a year ago, so maybe there's more reasons. I'm a Peter Rose Cool fan. Everything he does seems one of the 2 or 3 greatest actors in the world. Well, 4 or 5 anyway. That's one of his best performances. I also like him a lot in My Favorite Year, where he plays Errol Flynn, our character based on Errol Flynn. And
when was the last time you remember seeing Lawrence on the radio?
Oh, God, it was only about a year ago, so maybe there's more reasons. I'm a Peter Rose Cool fan. Everything he does seems one of the 2 or 3 greatest actors in the world. Well, 4 or 5 anyway. That's one of his best performances. I also like him a lot in My Favorite Year, where he plays Errol Flynn, our character based on Errol Flynn. And The Stuntman, where he plays a character based on John Huston. Who Clint Eastwood also played a character based on in White Hunter Black Forest. I'm rambling, sorry, but John Huston was a fascinating character. I've seen both people with Clint Eastwood play him. Really fascinating experience.
Why should you never whistle while you're kissing?
Oh, this is an idea of single-mindedness.
Besides, you're more likely to pee on your trying to concentrating on your listening. See what I mean by single mindedness?
Have you any tricks you can share with us on how to create satori during the daytime?
Well, I can offer a simulation of satori anyway. I learned this from Alice McCauley, who learned it from a Buddhist monk in Ceylon. You simply sit down where you know you're not going to be interrupted for at least a half hour and try to answer the question. I am sitting here doing this exercise because, well, the first thing you're doing it because I suggested it. Why do you take my suggestion seriously? What makes you think I actually think that? Or blaming, etc. And then you're doing the exercise because you're interested in trying to achieve something like satori. Why are you interested? How your whole life must have led up to that. What happened in the room that you might be able to find out? What was your childbirth like? What was your early infancy like? Why am I sitting here doing this? Why here and not in London or Berlin or Hong Kong? And why am I here? Why am I here to do that? Why did my parents meet? Did they intend to have a child, or was I, like most of us, an accident? And you go on and on. Eventually you find yourself coming up with things. I'm sitting here doing this exercise because the Scandinavians overfished the Black Sea in the 5th century. They did. So they took the piracy north and they ran out of fish temporarily. And during their piratic raids on Ireland, some of them decided to stay, and I'm descended from the old Lachlan, sweet sons of the Dane. Because the Danes overfished the north. Another reason is because I had polio at the age of 4. It gave me the kind of personality that's attracted to exercises like this. I was always more interested in books than in sports, unlike most boys, because my leg was so damn weak. I was not good at any sport. Okay? You couldn't find a sport I was any good at. At least I never did. But I was good at chess, you see what I mean?
Have you ever played the Karaman?
What the hell is Karaman?
Board game, you have 9 pieces, and you sort of flick just with your fingers, like an Indian.
Oh, that's it. So I didn't know I'm quite good with that darts. I don't know why. I used to be good at darts anyway. I haven't tried in years. I used to be quite good at darts. I don't know why. It doesn't involve running. You don't have to stand up for too long either. Just while you're throwing your dart and you sit down and watch your opponent throw their dart. The longer I have to be on my legs, the less good I am. That's for true all my life. Before the post-polio, you can't go severe, you know, walker to get around. It's true all my life. I mean, I usually didn't notice it. I thought everybody felt the same as me. But everybody's got more guts than me. People see me, with long line, I don't look complaining or grouching. I don't look like screaming or anything, saying, open more windows, damn it, I like that. And then you're not going else's legs where until the thing reached the point where I had my doctor analyzed what was wrong with me and told me it was polio syndrome, and other people don't feel like I'm standing on a long line.
Well, you have to talk a little about von Neumann and games theory and how it influenced the Cold War.
Yeah, I think we're all still alive because of John von Neumann. Von Neumann was either the pioneer or certainly one of the pioneers of programmable computers. The first computers at MIT, they were put together to solve a specific problem and then taken apart and put together again and had another problem. And von Neumann made a distinction between software and hardware and how you can use the same computer in many classes of problems. He also wrote one of the best books on quantum mechanics, but that's a digression. He also invented mathematical game theory, which he showed to be applied to poker and other games like that, as strategy, business, tactics, and to war. And pretty soon the Pentagon had a big budget to build computers and play war games on them. And the war games, well, if we attack Russia this way, how much can they hit us back? And the answer was always the losses were too unacceptable.
Total obliteration usually. Same when I'm playing my war games for 80 years until the funding ran out and they closed that not to have a war at all. Some of us telling these things in advance, you know you can't win yet. Why go ahead and fight? Mm-hmm. Why be so tough? Just cut off your nose to spite your face. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're all still here. I mean, most of the controversy about Bush's desire to invade Iraq, most of the opposition comes from the military because they're the ones with the computers that are working out war games with Iraq. And they know it's not going to be the cakewalk that George Bush. But all the people in the Bush administration, this has been all over. It's been even on television movement, all over internet. The people leading the rush to war are never served in a war. The opposition is almost entirely professional military. They call them chicken hawks. The guys who want war because they've never been in one, have no idea what it's like. And I can see the United States 20 years from now still bogged down in Afghanistan, still bogged down in Iraq, and attempting to fight Saudi Arabia. Never underestimate the power of stupid people and my troops.
Why do some people perceive it's dangerous to understand things too quickly?
No, I was the first one who said that was Josiah Warren, one of the founders of modern anarchist thinking. His book, True Civilization, begins with a single page with a single sentence. It's dangerous to understand things too quickly. And then he explains why the Constitution could not preserve liberty in the United States and drinks general semantics on the years before he did. He argues that words on paper can always be reinterpreted. Law schools teach them how to reinterpret them. A good lawyer can think of them as my money goes to my son. Prove in court that means my money goes to my daughter. That's what law school is all about, learning how to prove things like that. So the words on paper can never control government. Control government is to keep it small and decentralized. And rotate. His idea is true civilization with every community appoints a bunch of people, maybe kidnaps them. Yeah, it tells them, you got to take care of the garbage and the fish and things like that for the next 6 months, then you can go back to your regular life. And I'm exaggerating a bit, you get like that. The idea is you don't want a professional politician pass, and you don't want them all in one place, especially now that they're running for office. It's so damn expensive. They've all got to be at the back. Corporations, so they don't even get on the ticket. That's so damn obvious. It amazes me how all these people on the TV news who look like they're awake, they look like they're semi-conscious about each other, they look like they're vague, they have some kind of intelligence. And no one ever seems to notice the fact that politics in the United States has become a choice between two candidates picked by the major corporations. That's the only choice we get. You can, if you want, as a protest, you can vote for the third party. And staying home and not voting at all because they just rather to pass the resistance. You know, the guy you vote for isn't going to win. It's going to be one of those major corporate party candidates. And nobody on TV seems to know. Everybody else in the country knows. That's why 55% didn't vote in the last presidential election. We know it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. And now you got these sentimentalists about, only Gore and Gore would be doing the same damn thing as Bush. They're in the back to the same major corporations, General Electric, Westinghouse. You can run down the list of the contributors. Enron was a major contributor to both of them, so was WorldCom.
You once said every publisher should have a pin for older brother. Why is that?
So you have somebody to look up to.
So 4 questions from this Art and Reality project that we worked on. So these kind of 4 questions that we need to read.
I'm still going to do one at a time. You can 4 questions at once. I'm going to decide. I'm going to one at a time. I'll do it your own way.
Okay. The first one is, Can you identify the source of your most immediate worries? That's like your challenge.
Yeah. I do very well not worrying. I've got a lot of exercises to avoid worrying. The one thing I do worry about is I'm going to have a stroke that'll leave me too weak to protest and do anything about it. And I'll just have to lie there dying slowly. My mother, my father, and my brother all died of sudden massive strokes. They were gone in a 30-second. That's the way I want to go. My wife died of a series of strokes, and that was horrible, 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 horrible for me. It's horrible for the whole family. I don't want to go that way. So if I have even one mild stroke, I'm not going to go through a series of mild. After the first mild stroke, I take the suicide. All right, I'm not going to hang around dying slowly by inches. And I'm losing all my savings. I want to leave something for my children. I don't want it all to go to the goddamn greedy hospitals. And the goddamn greedy doctors and the goddamn greedy pharmacies and the goddamn politicians represent these goddamn greedy. Is that clear, Mr. Bush?
The second question is, what gives you the strength and courage to face this challenge?
Well, I see as many positive possibilities as negative ones. And since the conclusion is not yet arrived, I don't know which is going to happen. So it seems to me worrying about the bad possibilities just gives you ulcers and makes you a generally miserable person and drags down the party wherever you go. Whereas looking at the positive and spreading worried about the positive possibility keeps you high and happy, might even cheer up a few other people too. So since we don't know, why not choose the happy path? Besides, as a Buddhist, I really profoundly don't give a fuck. An old Chinese saying, the wise become Confucian in good times, Buddhist in bad times, and Taoist in old age. That makes more sense to me all the time. I believe in Confucianism in the sense of etiquette, good manners, courtesy, and a minimum, at least a minimum standard of decency for everybody. And I believe in Buddhism to the extent of detachment, because this is a pretty bad plan and a lot of bad things happen, so you don't want to get too attached to anything. And I become more and more of a Taoist because after reading about 20 different translations of the Tao Te Ching, it's looking up some of the ideograms in my Chinese English dictionary and reading reading commentary. And the basic message of Taoism is it doesn't matter, fuck it all. I have all three attitudes simultaneously. I can make things better by being nice to people. It doesn't really matter, Taoism, and it's all a framing house anyway, so I don't get too attached. That's Buddhism. I mean, it's a nice mixture. I admire the Chinese more than the other culture and the history of the planet.
There's beautiful paintings as well of the landscapes.
Oh, yeah. And you look at some of those statues of Buddha, and you know, those sculptures. I mean, the deep meditative state to be able to get that expression described as the subject, you had to be there. So, there's a whole culture that knows things about the mind that our culture is just beginning to rediscover.
So the third question in this series is, can you explain the things which bring possible solutions to your challenges? Well, you just really answered that.
Well, yes, personally, socially, I think if anybody goes to the Buckminster Fuller websites online, you'll find that solutions have already been worked out by Fuller and his associates at the Warham game. And all it takes is for the governments of the world to give up their attempts to conquer one another and by killing one another off and realize that's not working. I don't know how long that's going to take, but eventually, as Fuller said, humanity as a whole always does the most intelligent thing after all the stupid alternatives have failed. Once all the stupid alternatives have failed, they got no option left but to try Buckminster Fuller's World Game solution, in which everybody gets clean water, good food, good health care, and everybody's not, and most of the major forms of exploitation are made non-economical by
synergetic cooperation between people. And we can have a virtual utopia. And the only question is, will the governments discover that on their own? Do we have to get rid of them? If so, how do we get rid of them? I'm in favor of getting rid of them non-violently. I can understand why some people get so goddamn frustrated they start to but I'm still, no, I think makes them strong. It's what John House called counter-supplying. Counter-supplying is opposing something in a way that makes it stronger by your opposition. At least when I read the book, I happened to be in Ireland. And right away I thought it was also the freedom fighters and the Irish looking on. Each one makes the other one stronger. Same thing is going on now in Israel between the Israeli right-wing suicide bombing. Each one makes the other stronger. So I think we got to outsmart them instead of trying to outlaw them. To outsmart the goddamn governments. Fortunately, the internet exists already. It's international already. We're learning more about how to use it in spite of it. We're learning more about how to get accurate moves. We'll learn from that. And we'll learn how to make our own agreements and just bypass the governments. And we'll have a way to tell them themselves. And Congress will sit down there in Washington passing laws binding on all 540 members, not on the rest of us.
And that brings me perfectly to the fourth question, which is, how do you start acting in a practical sense regarding this matter? What is your action, physical action, and kind of combat the challenge?
Everybody has to find their own answer to that question. It depends on who you are, where you are, what the state of your health is, and how much money you've got. It depends on some people all you have, but I hear that kind of general question. So I can't answer for anybody else. All I can tell you, all I know is what I can do. I send out a lot of email. I write to my senators a lot, and I participate in public protests when somebody will drive me there and wheel me around in my wheelchair. And everyone's got to find their own answer. I contribute to Amnesty International $15 a month.
How do you plan to keep the potheads busy for the next 10 years?
The what?
The potheads.
Busy for the next 10 years? Well, one way is to print a card. One side is a secret message on the other side, and the other side is a secret message on the other side. I should keep the average pothead busy for at least 15 minutes. I don't know about the other 40. I might keep them busy. The next 45, they run around showing it to their friends. Watch how long it takes them to figure it out.
Wow.
Is President Bush the legitimate president of UNICEF, or the United States?
Well, not by my standards. It appears that Al Gore won the popular vote. There's no doubt about it. Nobody disagrees with that. The only disagreement is who won the Florida vote, they call the Electoral College. And as far as I know, there were 4 newspapers that collaborated in a study, a post-election study. They all concluded that Gore won, even counting that way. Then the establishment press came back by, not by doing their own studies, but by claiming methodological defects in the studies that hadn't been done. That's just like psychops. They never do their own research. They just look for methodological defects in the research they don't like. And as far as I'm concerned, Al Gore was elected as the legitimate president of the United States. That doesn't mean much to me, because the legitimate president of the United States to me is about the same as Godfather of the Mafia, or Grand Imperial Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, or General War, an Antichrist.
What are your lasting impressions of William S. Burroughs?
Well,
He was one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. If I had a list of people I regard as the most intelligent my whole life, Burroughs would be up there along with Buckminster Fuller and Timothy Leary and George Carlin and my wife Carlin and a few others. Don't be anybody who plays this tape and you're not included. I get just absolutely. Ken Campbell, Washington. I never met Washington. Carlin met Washington. But it's very. What was the question again?
Just like lasting impressions or
Burroughs.
memories of.
Burroughs, very incredibly high intelligence, deal of anxiety, which he tried to control in various ways, including being a junkie off and on for most of his life. He tried other methods. I know him when he was in 65, when he was entirely off junk. He couldn't get through an evening without getting drunk. So it was a choice of narcotics. He had terrible anxiety, left over from God knows what kind of events in his childhood. Very bright, very repressed in some in his emotional reactions. None of his sex life, from what I hear. And very funny. Well, humor is one of the best cures for anxiety, along with junk doesn't work and alcohol doesn't work. You can always try making a joke out of it. That's the Taoist solution.
Who was Hassan al-Sabah?
He was the original model for Osama bin Laden. He lived in Afghanistan, still in a mountain retreat. There were much religious fanatics who he had transported to heaven. And he had an absolute guarantee if you die in the service of Islam, he's probably to go right back to heaven, which is full of gorgeous virgin dancing girls all ready to satisfy you in any sexual way you can dream of. Oh, and dancing boys, too. That's not any savant all about those. You dairies people. And his age is pretty much discouraged people from invading Afghanistan for a long time because he had agents in most of the neighboring governments. And any government that decided it was time to attack the Saudis, survived them to woke up with his doors cut the next morning. Always with a dragon with the assassin symbol on it. One of the servants would disappear during the night. So people lost interest in attacking Afghanistan. They're both related. Hassani Sabah and Osama bin Laden both seem to be at least semi-historical. They're both related to Fu Manchu. These are all images of Oriental revenge, Protestant imperialism. They're all the nightmares of the ruling elite about what the rest of us made is secretly plotting. Then there's Ming the Merciless, of course. Now it's distributing cannabis in Ireland. You heard about that? Oh, yeah, on election day, he went around. He sent letters to all the members of Doyle Area with cannabis in the wall, which were rushed to the Gardaí to be tested for anthrax. And none of them had the NWDs had cannabis. Every member of Doyle was in danger of having cannabis in their test. It hadn't been for the anthrax scare happening at the same time. His real name is Luke Flanagan. Being the Merciless. Yeah. I think there's lots of fun in it. It's great. That's a quote from an old Irish song. Lots of fun there. Flanagan's great. Lots of fun in Flanagan's great. Being the Merciless.
Paul Krasner dedicated his beautiful new book, Murder at the Conspiracy Convention, to you. So with so much irony floating in the air today, why do you think there's such a lack of original humour in mainstream media?
Well, wait a minute. Let's go back to the beginning of Paul Krasner. He dedicated the book to me. He sent me an email over the dedication of the book was published. He asked me if I found it satisfactory, if I wanted to change any of it. He would be sure I'd be pleased by it. I was so delighted I dedicated my next book to him, which is due out any day now, called Song, the Creature of the Thing That Ate the Constitution. That's dedicated to Paul Krasner's Zen Basket. I originally wrote
the Zen bastard and all around good guy or something like that. And it's a phone call to Zen bastard. It's just what I want. Some people I think I'm insulting him, but that's what he wants. That's his sense of humor, so I let it stand. It looks as the fall cry at the Zen bastard.
Yeah, I was just wondering why you think there's such a lack of original humour in the mainstream media. People don't seem to be able to
well,
explain anymore without being.
Humor is always embraced.
Why would T.S. Eliot's writings provide the best book bombing propagandas for the US?
Who the hell thought of that question? You have to agree or somebody else suggested? T.S. Eliot makes a justification for American bombing.
Book bombing? Didn't they book bomb? Was it Korea or they dropped his? I forget which book it was. Just propaganda, and they're dropping T.S. Eliot.
They're dropping T.S. Eliot on Korea.
I think it was Korea.
Yeah, I should have dropped Pounds Cancer. At least they could have read some of the Chinese ideograms. Maybe they could decipher the rest of the text. I don't know. That's like, why are the United States dropping food supplies and bombs on the same people at the same time? And those who managed to escape the bombs and go for food had to walk across land, what possible landmines to get it for food. Sometimes I think this whole planet is batshit crazy, except then I realize, oh, look at this thing that way, so I gotta get a wider perspective.
I equate the removal of you from the Prophets Conference with the banning of Bird from Birdland. How can this still happen?
That's a great comparison. I really appreciate that. I was wonderful. Yeah, the bird was my band for bird class. It was named after him. Well, the Prophets Conference wasn't named after me anyway.
But the proof of the pudding is, I remember that at Palm Springs in 2000, December, you said, I'll quote, if the United States government wasn't trying to dominate the whole world, we wouldn't be threatened by terrorism.
That's it before they fired me. I don't know, it's coincidence.
I'm saying this is the most self-evident prophecy from the Prophets Conference I can think of.
Yeah, well, you see, that's why. If you're going to run a commercial profit center, you don't want any real profits. So you're going to disturb everybody. You know, an Illuminatus, they had terrorists blow one wall up with a big gun, just like, and turning his cat, had Wall Street blowing up, just like happened. I'm not claiming this is ESP or precognition to do common sense. The United States cannot go on bombing 2/3 of the world year, decade after decade, over and over, and without somebody hitting back eventually. I knew it had to happen. Nobody ESP with anything little horse sense. And the CNN keeps referring to it as the day the world changed. Well, the world didn't change. People have been dropping munitions on one another since Nobel invented modern munitions. People love dropping bombs on one another. It's not a favorite human pastime. They're almost getting ready to get off football for it. I mean, it's been going on for everything that changed in the United States has been doing most of the bombing for the last few years. Everybody got used to that. Oh, yeah, we got to bomb another country. Oh, well, it's for their own good. Somebody collateral damage. That's in the United States didn't bomb. They say the world changed. The world didn't change. The United States only got included in with the rest of the world. You can go around bombing people year after year, decade after decade, somebody bombing you back. No, it's not the reason they hate us for our freedom. Well, the freedom, like the freedom to pay you to a job before you get a job interview. That's the kind of freedom we really need.
Well, instead of throwing shit, we should just pee on one another.
I'm more and more re-examining Jerry Falwell's idea that God joined out David. You know, he said that already. He said God joined out David because there were too many gays, feminists, and ACLU lawyers
in the United States. Apparently he thinks there are no gay. Yeah, well, I said, there are no gays, feminists, or ACLU, right? And then in the territory controlled by Al-Qaeda stuff. But his God is obviously stronger. His God helped the fights that they target. And I'm more and more inclined to believe that. God seems to me, as my leg problems get worse and worse, God seems to be more and more like the character that's backed by Jerry Falwell and Osama bin Laden. He's a mean, rotten, sadistic son of a bitch. That's the only kind of God that makes any sense to me. Which is why the three religions I like most, Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism, never say anything about God at all. They don't even deny God. Well, Buddhism does it, some Buddhist sects do. Very explicitly. I remember the first time I ever heard the Dalai Lama was on BBC. And it said, some people say Buddhism has no God. Is that right? And the Dalai Lama said, yeah, very true. The US said, but isn't the Buddha mind something like God? And Dalai Lama said, the Buddha mind is the inside of all things. It is not an almighty creator. But if he's ignorant, maybe it'll make some sense. I read a book by him, and I didn't find any bullshit in it at all. I regard it as the one living, 100% bullshit free religious leader on this planet. I haven't found another. Well, maybe Bob Dylan, he sees bullshit free, though. Well, it's not bullshit free, but the bullshit is all highlighted with jokes. I know it's a joke. So all the rest of them remind me of pay no attention to that man behind the tree. Who was it about?
Do you know any like Trojan Tropa or
No, but I met a lot of people. I don't know both several times at all. I heard lots of amusing legends about him, including one meditation class led by somebody or other. Sunday Trumper appeared to go and he never can appear. He yelled, "Why are you meditating? I will tell you why you are meditating. You're all scared shitless about the atom bomb. I tell you, you don't need to be scared shitless. The atom bomb will not fall on you. You want you to." I know that's true. I know that. That was told to me by somebody who was involved. I swore I was true. There are all sorts of fascinating legends about it.
Can you expand upon why Finnegan's Wake, cannabis seeds, and a Rottweiler are essential elements for survival in the 21st century?
What was the third?
A Rottweiler.
A Rottweiler. Yeah. Did I say that?
Yeah, you talked to.
Well, you need Finnegan's Wake to understand the emerging world that always disappearing. Finnegan's Wake is the only book written from a global perspective. Well, pounds can't those are all global. They include China, plus Africa, most of Europe, and the United States. And some ancient Samaria and a bit of Egypt. Joyce is much more universal. It includes a lot more Africa. There's a hell of a lot. And a lot more of Asia, too. So it's part of your education to live in the 21st century. You gotta test it right. And then you need what? I don't know,
Cannabis seeds?
Obvious. I didn't need any explanation, does it? And the third was a rock.
You take this shit and literally you are transported into another fucking dimension. I don't mean like you feel like you're in another dimension. I mean like you're in another dimension. You refer to dimension where No furniture, bro. There's fucking complex geometric patterns moving in synchronous order through the air all around you. Three-dimensional space, and it's like there are reasons except there's not fucking black. Pulsating lights with no boundaries, and equality, and there's an alien communicating who looks like sort of like a time Buddha, except he's made of time energy. There's no one out. He's just one thing, and he's concentrating on me, and he's trying to tell me not to give his thoughts. He's got shit. We find ourselves being inspired. You take this shit and you are transported into another fucking dimension. I don't mean like you feel like you're in another dimension. There's not no furniture, bro. There's fucking complex geometric patterns moving in synchronous order through the air all around you. Three-dimensional space, and it's like there are arteries, except there's not just fucking lights, pulsating lights with no boundaries, and equality, and there's an alien communicating who looks like a sort of time Buddha, except he's made of time energy. There's no one out. There's one thing that he's trying to tell you. He has his thought.
And when it's over, it's over.